this.
Oh, Cindy,
Peter.
I gotta talk to you.
Oh, jeez, he looks good.
That's not Peter, that's Jack.
Who's Jack again?
Peter's brother.
Peter's the guy who's in the coma.
Yeah,
So then why did you bring Jack?
I didn't bring Jack, he followed me here.
So Jack's the fiancé.
No, Peter.
Peter doesn't even know you exist.
I know.
So Jack is Peter.
Yeah.
Lucy,
Yeah.
they have doctors for this kind of thing.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
One testicle away from good.
Maybe I'm too young to know what those are. Mine's actually a picture of a scrotum with a pencil going through it.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
The greater good.
This is episode... Yeah, there's really nothing you can do with this episode, right, Sam? I mean, it's just...
Yeah, I try. You know, I played with the Chicago accent, and it just came out as my Midwestern Minnesota accent, and it just was bad. So
You could
I
have...
decided against it.
You could have fallen as you said it.
Yeah.
The only other
Just like
thing...
a slapstick style fall.
Yeah, nothing like a pratfall on a podcast.
The greater good.
Thump.
Did that work?
Yeah. There, that's you hitting the thing. The other thing you could have pulled an Andrew and just done nothing, and then said, "This is me in a coma saying the greater good," or something like that.
Yeah, Andrew could just sleep through this one. I mean, it makes perfect sense for Andrew to fall asleep on this one.
It does.
If there was anything that you were meant to do, Andrew, it is this podcast with this movie.
I know.
So.
I know.
Oh, that's great. This is episode 376, and tonight we are talking about While You Were Sleeping. I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Andrew, once broke his wrist while delivering newspapers. Jimison.
Well, you know, I actually, I'm not from here, but I like to date the people that are in the building, and sometimes I just tell people that, you know, we're engaged and stuff. We're we're a thing.
I couldn't ever tell if that guy was trying to do New York or like Chicago. It never came across as a Chicago accent.
He's not from here.
Yeah.
He's totally from like the Bronx or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just came across as New York Italian stereotype.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that's what it was.
In all ways, shapes, and forms.
Yeah.
They cut no corners with that stereotype.
But
even what he was wearing.
yeah. Yeah. A kind of a beer stain, a white shirt,
The only thing I own in my closet is wife beaters.
Yeah.
That's what I wear.
But like,
And a robe when it's cold. Because it's Chicago. What do you expect?
but I will say this. I know I'm already like jumping into the show and I haven't introduced Sam yet. But like, the one thing I liked about his character is that he wasn't a douche.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they could have made him...
Like
they could have made him to be like the douchey New York guy, and instead they made him like kind of a sad, charming kind of a guy who apparently likes to try on women's shoes.
I mean, he started out as pretty annoying though.
Yeah,
like it's very it flooded the line, or what do you call it? It faded the line as you went throughout the movie. To being something a little different.
It was neat to kind of see this tertiary character actually kind of get a story arc that you cared about, a little bit, Anyway,
I cared about him more than some of the other people. We'll talk.
Oh God, Jason. Yeah,
We'll talk about it. It's fine.
We'll talk.
I'm so impressed with your accents. This is great. And also joining us tonight is Sam. The family was my favorite parts vector.
Oh, I mean, there's a reason why she likes him, right? There's a reason why she wanted to join this thing. It wasn't, just because of the hot guy getting into the train. It was the whole family when she realized it. But Sean, just so you know, I've been on your roof trying to get this tree up here.
Yeah,
and it's been attached to a line. And could you just go down below and just watch it for me, just to make sure it's not gonna fall and go 30 stories down on you.
Break a window. Wait, how
Maybe
tall
break
do
a
you
window.
think my house is? 30 stories.
I've got a ladder.
You got a ladder. Nice. That's it. No guests tonight.
Yeah.
It's just the three of us, and
Just the three of us.
and that is
Hey,
okay.
listener. You're gonna have to deal with that.
That's right.
Yeah, sorry.
You don't like it. That's tough.
Yeah. No, it's just the three of us. Tonight is it's kind of special, though all of our episodes are special in their own way, which I guess means that none of them are. But tonight is it's the last episode of 2021, and
Right.
that's both sad and awesome at the same time. It just means that we have a new year coming and a whole new set of movies to do. And also, it's going to give us an opportunity to look back at 21 and talk about some of the stuff that we liked and maybe some of the stuff that we didn't. So I'm looking forward to that. But before we do those things, we are going to talk about this movie, which is While You Were Sleeping. It is 1996's? 1995, thank you.
94?
No, 95.
95.
93.
While You Were Sleeping, starring...
Do I hear a 92? Anybody got a 92?
starring Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman. And
Yeah, go President Pullman.
that's all I can see him as, is the president. It's so funny. Directed by John Turteltaub. Turteltaub? Turteltaub. Turteltaub.
It's like Turtle Talk with Crush.
I don't know. I know I'm saying your name wrong. I'm sorry. He's done some stuff that we like. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how you pronounce his name.
I know it's not, but
I don't know how to
It's
do
got to
it.
be French, right?
Turteltaub.
I've heard it pronounced many times, but it's not that.
Turteltaub. This
You
is
call
like
me bad with names.
Well, I know the guys' names. I just can't pronounce it. You just say stuff like Don Knotts when you mean to say Joe Pesci.
Yeah. And
No, it was Rick Moranis. You got Don Knotts at Rick Moranis. I went back and listened to that. That still made me laugh. It was just too funny. But he is known for some other stuff, he has directed such fine things as The Meg recently. And
okay.
he did The Sorcerer's Apprentice, which I actually kind of like. And he did National Treasure, both National Treasure movies, which are okay movies. And he did The Kid with Bruce Willis and Phenomenon with the guy, the guy who can move things with his hand and whatnot. And then he did this movie, and then before this movie, he did Cool Runnings, and before that, he did Three Ninjas.
Oh, that's
dear.
That's the OG Turtle Top.
Oh my gosh, I like
him.
I like the Three Ninjas. I used to watch that movie so much. It probably doesn't hold up at all. Like if we watched it
totally doesn't.
If we watched it as adults, I think we'd probably just be mad.
Yeah.
So we should do it for the podcast.
No, if we're doing one of those movies, we're gonna do Surf Ninjas.
Well, that's not him, but yeah,
I know.
But Surf Ninjas
I'm saying
does
from that era.
Yeah, it does have the benefit of having Rob Schneider in it, where he gets to say the one line, "I'm gonna come down there and beat you with the leg that no longer works."
Well, we'll talk about it.
Will we? I don't think we're gonna talk about it.
No, we might.
We're not. All right. Well, while you take a sip of your fine looking whiskey there, why don't you go ahead and tell us what this movie is while you were sleeping?
Well, I will tell you. I'm gonna preface this by saying I've read several synopsi of this film, and I don't agree with any of them. So here we go. This is from IMDb.
All right.
A hopelessly romantic Chicago Transit Authority token collector is mistaken for the fiancée of a coma patient. Now, here's my problem. Was she really mistaken, or did she just lie about this?
Well,
now, I know there was one person that mistook her, but the rest, everybody else in the movie, she's lying to them.
Yeah, it was like a lie of omission, right?
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
my issue. But I guess that's what the movie is, sort of.
Yeah, the movie is kind of like just a series of misunderstandings, and I overheard something, and there's just a bunch of that happening in this movie, just constantly, and it just feels like until towards the end when the truth finally comes out, it's just my friend, the kid who overheard her saying a thing out of context, is going to repeat it, and therefore we're going to tell the family that she's pregnant or something. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so this was so we're doing this movie. I'll be real honest. This was a listener requested film. This is not typically a movie that we would review for the podcast, but you know what? I think it's okay for the three of us to go out of our comfort zone every now and then. It doesn't have to always just be an 80s thing, 80s movie or an action flick or a space western. I think it's okay.
And this is also in the prime of our dating years. Like if we had girlfriends at this time, we would bring them to a movie like this.
Whoa.
What?
Sam.
Remember, you were already 30.
I was not allowed to date in elementary school.
I was in 8th grade, so not quite.
Yeah, well, I was taking girls to these types of movies.
Yeah.
So at this time, yeah, I might even had this. I can't remember, but this might have even been one.
Yeah, the first movie I took a girl on a date to was Titanic.
On purpose?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a
Me
date.
too.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't take her. She took me.
Yeah.
And funny story about the Titanic while we're there.
The boat sank.
I know that, or I knew at the time that there were boobs in this movie.
Oh, yeah?
And so because everybody had told me, like it was the thing. And even my parents were like, look, you can go see this movie, but we're going to warn you, there's some nudity. And as a kid, of course, I was to my parents saying, oh, that's terrible. I'll close my eyes. But in my back of my mind, as an 8th grader, I was thinking, oh, yes. Right. And so this is a true story. This girl was trying to make out with me during the film, and I literally put my finger in front of her face at this moment and said, wait. And I watched the scene, and that was the last time we dated.
That's amazing. Oh, my God.
And now I'm ready for you, hon. Come on this way.
It's amazing. I almost want to tell a similar story. I don't know if I should or not. Should we tell another embarrassing story or no? Just keep on.
You can. Yeah, no, I think it's appropriate.
All right, whatever. So I dated this girl I was in college, and we went to her place, and I totally misread the vibe of what was happening. She was like, "Do you want to watch a movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." But I mistook the idea of watching a movie for let's do other things, and I wanted to watch a movie. And so
you're going to Netflix and chill before Netflix and chill was a thing.
That was her intention. That was not mine.
Your intention was just to watch the movie.
I just
wanted to see a movie.
I just wanted to watch the movie. So I'm looking through the collection of Disney films that she has, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you have The Lion King. And she says, yeah. And I said, I've only ever seen this once. Can we watch this? And she's kind of confused as to why I'm really excited about The Lion King.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. So she puts it in, and we start watching it, and she starts kind of kissing me, and I'm kind of trying to avoid it. Like, I legit want to watch this movie. And she gets to the point where she's no longer going to be subtle. So she literally gets up and then turns the volume up like a little bit, and then comes back and then is like sitting on my lap. And so here we go. But the movie's still playing, and I can hear it. So the part of the movie when Simba walks by and he looks really sad, and Timon says, "Why are you blue?" And Pumbaa says, "He's more like a goldish brown." I lost it. I start laughing, and she looks at me and she goes, "Are you listening to the movie?" And I said, "I can't help it. It's playing." And so the part in the movie when then the monkey starts doing kung fu, that's the part where she stopped. she was like, okay, because I started laughing again because it's hilarious.
She was done with you.
She was done with me. We broke up like 5 minutes after that movie. So,
But in your mind, you were saying, "My God, I don't own this, so I'm going to have to watch this." It's not like we're going to have a streaming service that we're going to be able to watch these kind of movies anytime we want.
it's not like I'm going to plan on buying The Lion King and watch it with my children eventually 17 times. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you want to share an embarrassing story, or are you good, Sam?
I'm good. I think I'm good. Yeah.
That's nice. Okay. I don't even know where we are in this podcast at this point. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
We're at it's 5-word review time.
Oh, thank goodness. All right, 5-word review. Sam, this is where you get
All right,
your
I've
5-word
got
review.
2, right? The first one is one testicle away from good.
That's perfect.
I almost did a spit take on that, Sam. Boy, I'm glad I didn't have Coke in my mouth. Good gracious. Okay.
But my other one is kind of where I fall on this one. It's formulaic but sweet, right? I mean, there's no real villain in this movie, and for some reason in my mind, I swear she was almost the villain. In my mind,
say it's kind of Sandy.
Yeah, but really, you kind of pull for her, even, which is strange. But it's about as formulaic as you can get. But I'm okay with that. It's cute. It's Sandra Bullock at her best during this time. So, I don't know. I thought I think I had a good time on this. Hold on, I need to get this dog out of here.
well, Sam.
I thought it was either that or your nose whistling. I wasn't sure which was. Yeah.
Okay. Well, while Sam deals with the dog, I'll respond simply to a couple things he was saying. Yeah, this is a rom-com. Yeah, there's a basic formula for these things. There's going to be. Typically, it's like there's a girl and a guy, and then there's something that separates the two of them, and then they start to fall in love, and then there's kind of the one thing. Usually, there's something. Sometimes it's a misunderstanding or something from the past or the truth, whatever, and then it kind of breaks them apart. But in that breaking apart, they realize their true feelings, and then one of them has to do a crazy act to get the other one back, and then they live happily ever after. That's exactly. Kind of how they all go. So
just check out Hallmark, the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, and
pretty much every movie on Lifetime and Hallmark. Well, Lifetime's more anti-man.
Yeah.
On there, but in terms of, it's two lovable losers don't realize they like each other until they do. Something bad happens, they split up, and then there is a reason to get back together.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah.
But this movie had some fun takes. Any scene with the family was fun.
I tell you, I want to go to church with those people.
No kidding.
Right?
I want to just share a meal with them.
Yeah.
That church scene, I was rolling.
And God bless, most of those guys are dead now, unfortunately. But oh gosh, they had some comedic, just brilliant guys in that. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, like Bill Pullman is a very charming man, but he is not funny in this movie.
No.
He plays. He's the kind of, like you said, lovable loser. He's like the awkward kid at the party, but like all of the comedy is the family.
Oh, absolutely.
And they are and Carl's Jr. What's his name? Joey Jr. Joe Jr.
Joey Jr.
It's
Joe Jr.
Joe Jr. Carl's Jr. is a food franchise.
They got good burritos or something though.
Yeah. Like, This movie is okay. Andrew, your 5-word review.
Well, surprisingly enough, my 5-word reviews are very similar to Sam's, only not as clever. And I will say before I say these, I go through and look at the photos during the show, and that a movie is aged when the photos from the set are black and white.
They're black and white.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All right, so first 5-word review is typical 90s romantic comedy formula.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which we just mentioned. And the other one, don't play basketball with pencils. Yeah.
You got to think of how it happened, right? So she said it was in his back pocket.
Yeah.
So Bill Pullman must have been guarding, I'm guessing, and he backed into him.
Not Bill Pullman, but the
friend.
Or whatever. Yeah, the dead guy or coma guy.
The coma guy. I can't think of his real name. Peter Gallagher. Yeah.
So let me ask a question.
Yeah.
The title is While You Were Sleeping.
Yeah.
So when a patient is in a coma, are they sleeping? Is that technically considered sleeping?
I don't know, but I mean,
is the title "While You Were in a Coma" not as sexy of a title?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that sells as good.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So there were some things. First of all, the movie is it's an okay film. I know we normally ask if we'd seen this before, and I don't know if you guys have, but
we all said that none of us had seen it. I think last week.
Actually. After watching it, I remember watching it before.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of my wife's, when we were dating, even though this was out many years before we dated, I think it's one of those that she had maybe grown up seeing or something, and she forced me to watch it with her because I did remember. Yeah, well, I did remember watching it. And it's a cute little story, like you said. Mm-hmm. But it's typical 90s romantic comedy. You can always tell in the 90s what kind of movie it's going to be by the music that plays at the very beginning. And the opening song, I forget what it is, but it's what is it? Everlasting Love. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, Everlasting. Yep.
Yeah. And so you hear that song and you know immediately it's a rom-com. It's just that's how those work. And then you see throughout the film, you see people just randomly getting hurt. It's like a cut scene of someone falling
in the opening credits with the ice rink.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like somebody nails their head on the ice. I'm like, ah.
And then
there's a bike.
Guy.
Yeah, newspaper bike guy.
So
absolutely.
I didn't understand. There is some bad acting in this movie. I mean, there's some really bad acting. The guy that's her boss, Jerry, he's been in other things and never bothered me as much as he did in this movie. There was the line that the scene that you played at the beginning. Mm-hmm. That was terribly acted. Yeah, it was really bad from him.
I liked it. I just liked it where he just yells at her at the end. It's like there are doctors for things like this. I liked the line.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, like I said, it's cute. It's hard, as we've said, to review some movies, and I think this is one that's difficult to do. But I will say that one of our dear friends is going to be upset that we reviewed a rom-com because she suggested that we do a rom-com before, and she's told me that she's upset that she was told we can't review rom-coms.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so you might have to put on the boxing gloves and prepare to defend yourself with her.
Dang it, Sean.
Who? I'm confused. Who?
Oh, this is our dear friend Apple.
Oh.
Former guest on our show.
Yeah.
That's true.
If I ever am in a coma, all right, I want you guys to do this.
I'm not going to count testicles.
No. I want one of you. Well, one of you can do that. The other one. No, the other one. I want you to. In the scene where they're playing cards, right?
Yeah.
You see his hand, the guy that's in the coma. You see his hand like propped up on the table, and then you know that his brother had to do that. Like, if you're in a coma, you're not going to put your hand on the table. So I decided while watching that, I want one of you to. I want to be a puppet. I want to be a human puppet. I want one of you to tie strings on my wrists and stand over the bed and just, Move my arms up and down.
Okay.
Sure.
Somebody grab my bottom lip and just, ventriloquism.
Hey, my
Go
name's
for it.
Andrew. I can
Exactly.
do voices.
Because, listen, if I'm in a coma, make the best of it. Don't sit there and weep.
Yeah.
Make the best of it. Have
Sure.
fun.
Oh yeah, we'll have a good time.
Just
Absolutely.
you don't have to count this.
We'll be drawing things on your forehead and permanent marker. And
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You're gonna wake up with a tattoo on your arm. You're like, wait, what?
Last thing, the family, like we said, we love the family, but in the scene that Jack and Sandy, what's her character's name? Anyway, when they are under the mistletoe, and the
yeah,
family's like, "Go ahead and kiss. It's fine." Ooh,
that's
like
so
they start.
weird,
It is weird.
It's very awkward. I couldn't imagine being like
right?
in the same room as someone else that I wasn't dating and involved with, and while I am involved with someone and being asked to kiss someone else, it rubbed me the wrong way that the family was encouraging this almost cheating.
Yeah,
And they were okay with it.
It was the fact that when they're like, oh, it's a family tradition. I'm like, to kiss.
Random people.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you just happen to be under the mistletoe, you have to kiss whoever it is, even if it's two dudes or two ladies or like whatever, it just
And on the lips.
yeah, they did kind of the side kind of a thing there, but yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
a little weird. All right.
Oh, one more note. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I missed this one.
yeah. Keep going.
900 numbers. So she mentions to Joe Jr. that he's calling 900 numbers, right? And
Yeah.
he says, who told? Maybe I'm too young to know what those are or that those were a thing, but I had no idea what she was. I mean, I kind of inferred what she was talking about, but I didn't know 900 numbers were a thing.
Yeah, you don't. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, especially back then.
Yeah, I remember that. So
You were
yeah,
too young.
yeah.
Yep.
The 900 numbers were all of the rage for the. I mean, it wasn't just for sex talk, but it was like get your future read to you over the phone. Call 1-900 blah blah. We'll only charge you $3 a minute. Stuff like that. So that's just what it is now. But then at the time, now it's different numbers. Just text this number and we'll send you things or whatever. I don't know, but.
Well,
Yeah, they didn't advertise those until after like 10 p.m. on most stations. All right, time for my 5-word review. I think I actually started to write one. Like I have 3 of the words, and so either I just couldn't think of anything else clever to say. So anyway, so here's one of them. Sandra Bullock is super cute.
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
she's classic.
Yeah, she's
Classic beauty.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just listened to a podcast with her actually, where they were interviewing her. And did you know that she's like born raised in Germany? She lived there for like 6 years.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah,
I had heard that.
and,
I think,
and then
back
moved
in the
here,
day.
not really wanting to be an actress or to get into it, but wanting to be a comedic actress once she did get into it. And I just thought that was awesome because she is like especially younger. I don't know. She's still good looking now, I guess. But
Oh, absolutely.
but especially when she was younger, she was very hot, very attractive.
Yeah, she does physical comedy well. I mean, she's they're doing the whole ice slipping, falling into each other's arms things. They played that pretty well. One of my favorites is Miss Congeniality, and there's a lot of physical comedy in that movie. So she she does
Yeah,
that
and Bird
well.
Box too.
Her
Yeah, it's hilarious.
her parents, I think it was her parents, were musicians and very good ones, like classically trained singers and maybe a flautist. I think she said. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, sorry. Back to your 5-word review.
No, that's
My bad.
fine. No, that's perfect.
She's beautiful. That's what you were saying.
She is. She really is.
Yeah.
Well, I use the word cute in this movie just because the movie is like the only time they make the movie makes her look pretty is the wedding day, right? But all the other times, they're trying to make. It's so funny. Oh my God, Andrew just disappeared for a second there. Sorry, that was weird. Andrew was removing his sweater, And in the process of doing so, his green screen freaked out, and so Andrew completely disappeared. Okay. I thought he disapparated for a second. But this movie does the thing that Hollywood does. It's like, oh, if we want someone to be not as hot as they actually are, like we'll put them in a sweater. Or like in 10 Things I Hate About
That's why
You.
I took my sweater off.
No, not 10 Things. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
No.
She's all that.
Put glasses on him.
She's all that. That's right.
She's all
Yeah,
that.
Rachel Lee Cook. They just put glasses on her. Like, she's hot, even
And
with glasses
Princess
on.
Diaries.
Princess
Right.
Diaries. Anne Hathaway. Yeah.
Not that I'm admitting the fact that I've seen Princess Diaries.
I've seen Princess Diaries several times. I'm not gonna lie. Anne Hathaway is very cute, and Alexander. Today's his birthday. That actor who plays the head of the security. He's great. I like him. I can't think of his name. Anyway, doesn't matter. But he's great.
Skarsgård.
No.
Graham Bell.
You're gonna. Okay. Graham Bell? I don't even like the guy that invented
Alexander, right?
Did I say that? Oh, okay. His real name is Hector Elizondo. He's great.
Elizondo.
And Julie Andrews is in it too, and she's also awesome. Let's see. Yeah, Elizondo, he was in Pretty Woman as the guy that works at the hotel downstairs of the hotel. And Bellevue Hills Cop 3 and a bunch of things. Anyway, he's great, my point. And like today's his birthday. He's like 85. So I have no shame in saying that I've seen that. The other thing is funny, you guys mentioned that Sandra Bullock, you were rooting for her because you thought maybe she was kind of the villain. So there's another movie that's kind of similar to this, and that's The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they have a fake wedding. But in that movie, she kind of does come across as the bad guy. And then eventually we, as the audience, as Ryan Reynolds, kind of fall in love with her because she sees how awesome he is and how awesome the family is and decides not to go through with it. Like, spoiler. But
Much better movie, by the way.
I think it's better, but I also think because Ryan Reynolds and Betty White.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I'm not going to lie. So Sandra Bullock apparently is pretty self-effacing about having small boobs because she makes a joke in this movie that she's like her dad and then she likes maps and is flat-chested. And then in The Proposal, when she tries on the wedding dress, Betty White's like, oh, and we're going to have to take in the... it's like putting her hands fully on Sandra Bullock. It's pretty funny. But it's Betty White. She's allowed to do whatever she wants.
She turns 100 in January.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Betty White.
National treasure right there.
We have got to... we got to put a bubble around her, right? Like, no one within 100 feet can be near her. You know what I'm saying? Like, we must protect Betty White. I love I love seeing the things on Facebook where it's like Betty White is older than sliced bread. I just love stuff like that. Okay. So my other 5-word review was simply a fun Christmas rom-com. I think I was going to write something else, but that's all I wrote. A fun Christmas rom-com. So, yeah. I mean,
these aren't supposed to be deep. These aren't supposed to be, life-affirming things. It's supposed to be cute and fun.
That is all what she said.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to run through a few notes here about the movie that I wrote down because I'm going to, and that's my job. My first note was no cat owner would ever put tinsel on their tree. They would know better because cats eat that shit, and it'll mess them up. And I'm saying this.
God, I gotta get some tinsel.
I know this as as an owner of a cat. It wasn't tinsel. It was that Easter plastic grass. She got into the closet where we keep all of the the holiday decorations.
Plastic grass.
Yeah, and she got in there and she ate some, and she was this is like a year ago or so, maybe a little bit longer, and she was just miserable and she's like hissing at her meowing and she's rubbing her butt across the carpet, and finally we just kind of pinned her down and checked out her hindquarters and saw that little piece of grass sticking out. And so I had to pull it out, and I mean, it was
gross.
painful for her, and it was gross, but you know.
You think she got paper cut in her anus?
What I was legit, I know we're making jokes, but like legit, like I was afraid because there's stories that like that stuff can kind of get wrapped in her, like in her intestines, and when you pull,
Intestine.
it pulls it all out. And I was literally afraid I was gonna rip her out, like rip her in half. But fortunately, she's okay. So that was number one. Number two, yes, number two. Why do people in Hollywood think cats drink milk? Cats can't
It's actually
drink.
bad for them.
Cats can't drink milk. They're lactose intolerant. Hollywood, stop fake. It's fake news. Stop doing this.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Well, you're allergic to cats, so you've never been around them.
Well,
but
I had this feral cat that I was taking care of at my old house that I'd leave bowls of milk out for.
yeah, it's so bad for them. It'll make them just puke and shit everywhere.
Oh, dear God.
They're lactose intolerant. If you want to give them
really bad.
if you want to give them like almond milk or something, that's fine. But they didn't have that when you were a kid. But yeah, water. Cats need to drink water.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So again,
okay.
Still.
Well,
all right.
lovely.
So I teased this joke. I honestly don't remember if we were on air or not, but I teased this joke earlier. So the face that she makes. So if you've watched this movie, you're listening, and I know a few of you who are listening watched this movie because obviously one of you is the requester of said movie. So the face that she makes when she tries the eggnog, right? Because Saul even says, "My advice is drink soda," right? And so she drinks the eggnog. That face that she makes, that's the face I made when we went for Sam's 40th birthday party and we were trying alcohol and they made me try a bunch of alcohol. Every time I would try gin or rye or the whiskey or the whatever, that's the face that I made. So
Absolutely.
if you want a visual, that's it.
And we'll do it again here with Chad's birthday too.
Yeah.
If we can all get together.
God rest his soul.
Got to work on that poker face.
Oh.
It's all about inhaling as you drink and exhaling as you swallow.
That's what she said? No.
And then getting it in the nose too.
Yeah.
I did also write, wait, so what was her present? I wanted to know. We don't get to find out what present that they got her. But that was that.
Deleted thing.
So I did write, oh my gosh, I almost did a spit take with the Paperboy. So I was watching this as I was eating my lunch at work. I didn't get a chance to watch this last night with my wife. Because as the two of the guys here recording with me can see, I'm wearing PJs. We did the Polar Express last night with the family, so I didn't get to do it last night. So I'm watching it work and having a good time with it, and I'm laughing, and then the kid on the bike wipes out, and I had a mouthful of potato chips, and it almost went all over my computer. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting it, and I mean, it made me laugh out loud. It really did.
You know, it's a real scene. Like, it was a real accident.
Yeah. That's one of the pieces of trivia I have is the Paperboy is showing slipping off his bike was an accident, and he actually broke his wrist. Which is why that's how you got your middle name. Like he legit broke his wrist in that shot. So, like I kind of feel bad because he got hurt.
Think he should be a paperboy.
But it's still funny as shit. Oh my gosh! I don't know. It's just a pratfall, but it was still funny because I wasn't expecting it. We already mentioned the weird kiss with the mistletoe. My last really note. My two notes. I'll do the funny one first. I did write, the wedding march. Again, I don't know why Hollywood thinks that people come down the aisle to this, to the Here Comes the Bride song. But my funny joke is I ran sound and the video stream for a wedding this past weekend, and the organist or the piano player / music director of the church, who has been a music person, she's about to retire, right? So she's been around the block for a while, and she says, "Do what?"
An old pianist.
Yes, that is what she is. And she says to me, she said, I've probably done 100 weddings in my life, and I have never once played Here Comes the Bride.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, because it's not a good song, and only people in Hollywood think that people actually walk down the aisle to this, but it's not a good song. And So anyway, that's what she did. So anyway, again, Hollywood says that's what you do. That's what you do. But no one does that.
Any musician will tell you it's Pachelbel's canon.
Is that what Karen,
90% of the time.
Is that what Karen came down the aisle to?
No, she actually came down to a song that I wrote.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was it like? I mean, like completely you wrote it, or?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh wow.
It was a piano piece.
That's very cool. I don't remember. I was at both of your weddings. I don't remember.
In the theme of chopsticks?
You were distracted by the fern.
I was distracted by the fern. Boy, that's an inside joke that 7 people will get. And none of them are listening to this show. Sam, what did Kimberly come down the aisle to?
I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I had no control. So
You had to
I
be
forgot
sober to
most of that
remember
day. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, that was the one thing I had control over. My wife said, she said, you get to pick the music, all of it. I said, okay. So we met in the marching band at App. So I did. I helped arrange a version of Simple Gifts, or I guess technically Appalachian Spring, but whatever, it's the same thing. So, but we did
And
that.
then the recessional was the fight song.
Yeah, it's the fight song, marching band. I actually don't remember what the processional was. Was it the Vitor or something? The da-da-dun, dun, da-da-dun, dun, da-da-dun, dun, da-da-dun, dun, da-da-dun. I'm sorry. Anyway, I don't.
Yeah.
All of our listeners are screaming right now.
Yeah, they hate me right now.
They're slamming their foreheads into the wall. Or onto the steering wheel.
Boy, I hope not.
It's not good for you guys. Quit. Just listen. We're done with this now. We're moving on. It's okay.
Yeah,
Take a breath.
It
and
is.
we're moving on.
it's okay. Yeah, sorry. I wish I had it, but I don't. I don't even have it on my computer. Anyway, my last note was this. It was really refreshing to see a movie. And again, this is kind of a wholesome movie, right? Where like the only persons whose feelings actually get hurt are kind of Joe Jr. a little bit, because the girl on the 3rd floor rejects him. And also the fact, I mean, we don't care about this guy because he just shows up, is the fact that you find out that Peter proposed to a woman who's married. So like that guy kind of is, hurt, but we don't care about him because he just shows up. Like, how did he know to be there or whatever? But
Yeah.
anyway,
I did feel bad for Joe Jr. though.
I mean, I did a little bit. You kind of actually wanted
Yeah,
him to
but
be happy.
he's overbearing. I don't know.
I mean, he's a trope.
He's creepy. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's creepy in a kind of sincere, sweet way.
But you tell me which character in this movie that we could relate to more.
I don't know.
Am I wrong?
I mean, Bill Pullman's kind of a relatable dude, though, right? I mean, he has a normal job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But he builds furniture. Like, we don't build furniture.
well, no, but we the 3 of us all create stuff.
We're not that crafty.
We're not crafty with our hands, but we're doing a podcast. That's an art. Andrew, you are a band director. You play a musical instrument. I play a musical instrument. Sam plays a musical instrument. And I know I don't know if Andrew, you are, but 2 of the 3 of us are playing our instruments on Christmas Eve for our churches. So
Yeah.
we have talents and we are creative. So we can relate to Bill. And again, he's relatable. Other than the fact that
But
Joe
he was the president of the United States.
he was that, or will be. He isn't yet, but he will be.
Yeah.
The next year. But, right, 96.
God, could you imagine this being his backstory?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
this
next
is a prequel.
prequel, yeah, he makes furniture, and then the next year becomes president. Somehow he ran a campaign while making furniture. No, so the part I was trying to get to was in a movie with all of these kind of other things happening, and probably the movie just didn't have time to do this thing. But it was actually kind of refreshing to see a movie where a father and son had a healthy relationship, where the son says, "Dad, I don't want to be in the family business," and the dad goes, "Okay, like go be happy." Like movies don't give us that. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting him to blow up, and then it to be a thing, and then maybe Sandra Bullock has to come in and smooth things out or something. Like, I expect it to be a thing, but the dad was just like, okay, well, good luck. It just, it was really kind of nice and refreshing just to see a father-son relationship not be toxic. So I kind of liked that. The last thing I will say, I said that was the last thing. This is my new last thing. I also thought that what the movie was going to have us is not just the fact that Sandra was going to fall in love with Bill Pullman, or Bull Pillman is what I almost said, is that she was going to fall out of love with Peter because she finds out what a douche he is.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I think that would have happened.
Eventually,
yeah. Because she goes to his apartment, so she checks his wallet. Right, the first picture we see is him and his brother as children, and then the next picture we see is himself in the tennis racket and the sweater and I'm like, I remember the '90s when you had pictures of things of your family in your wallet, but my dad never had a picture of himself in his wallet. He had a picture of us.
So you're saying I should probably take my face off the background of my phone?
I mean, I think you probably should, but
I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that.
I know. Actually, I don't know, but I just assumed that again.
I saw a person do that one time, and I asked about it, and they said, "Well, if someone finds my phone, they'll know it belongs to me." And I thought, well, that's kind of smart, but it also just kind of makes you look like a douche.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's the lock screen, I guess is what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, my lock screen is Donald Duck with a chainsaw on his hand, like from The Evil Dead.
And I would totally know that's your phone.
Yeah.
Because who else would have that?
Yeah.
Mine is just the beach scene.
Oh, I was actually saying, if I was to guess, and I would have been wrong, I would have guessed either something Jurassic Park related or something app related. Yeah. Or maybe your girls.
No, it's just one of the default beach scene.
Yeah, that's all right.
I guess I'm just not.
I think that's more to the fact that you're lazy.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. What do I need to put anything on there for? Right?
You don't need to. I mean, again, seeing Donald there with his chainsaw, it gives me a little smile, but that's it. It's and then like my wallpaper is a Star Trek scene, and that surprises neither one of you either. So
no, I don't know.
Nope.
Anyway.
Meanwhile, mine is. Hold on, I'm checking out. This is the Windows default screen?
Nice. Wait, you have an iPhone? It can't be the Windows.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about your laptop.
Oh no. Yeah, my laptop is the default. Yeah, I'm on my cell phone. Yeah, my laptop is my default Mac background. Looks like a mountain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't change that. I don't want it to be something that's going to distract me from the thing that I need to do.
Right. Yep. I like a good plain one. I can see where everything is.
Yeah.
Mine's actually a picture of a scrotum with a pencil going through it.
Nice timing.
Hope you didn't spit all over your soundboard there.
No. Oh, God, I was not ready for that. I mean, I knew you were going to do a joke. I knew it was going to happen. I knew the punchline was or the setup was there. I was just not expecting a scrotum pencil. Oh my gosh. Oh, all right. This is going to be the episode of the testicle. That's all I can say.
Yes, this is the story of Testicles, god of semen. The epic tale.
Anyway, to finish that point, that thought was just simply that when we go to his apartment, again, it's just filled of pictures of him, and that was a moment where I thought, he just comes across as kind of a douche. So
Yeah.
anyway, he's full of himself,
Agree.
but it's okay. You ready for some clips? I have a few clips.
Let's do it.
All right. Some of these are, well, there's no way to put it. And Andrew, I'm just setting this up for you. Here it comes. Here comes the spike. Some of these are longer than others.
Too easy. I'll let it
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Because for some reason, like normally I do like these really short clips, but I just kind of felt like this movie was deserving of a little bit more clip than usual. So here's this one. This one though was edited a little bit because it was yeah. But here we go. Clip number 1.
Ashley Bartlett Bacon. All I know is she was pretty high and mighty for someone named after breakfast meat.
It was love at first sight, right? I have a sense about these things.
Elsie, let her tell it.
She is telling it.
She cracks me up. This again, the family was just cracked me up the whole time.
The best.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I just let her tell a story. She is telling it. Like she never says a word in that entire scene. It's all of them. It just cracks me up. Okay. Who in the hell leaves this kind of voicemail?
Hi, it's Ashley. Lisbon is absolutely gorgeous, but I'm cutting my trip short because I have been doing a lot of thinking, and what the hey, I will marry you.
What the hey? Like, hey Sam, can you come over this weekend and play some board games? Yeah, what the hey, I'll come over. Like that's the kind of voicemail you leave. Not I'll marry you, but they all okay.
I think it's just to prove she's a douche as well.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
This here is some of the aforementioned church scene.
Yeah, for Christ's sake, Jack.
Stop swearing.
Look, you're running the business now. There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Talk about that later, okay?
Talk about it now. He can't kill you in church.
Will you please pipe down?
Hey, be nice, Pally. We're in church.
You're disrupting the mass.
Who made you the Pope?
Hux, how did Joe Kelly get to be elected? He takes marijuana.
He takes marijuana. Oh my gosh, that stuff made me laugh so hard. Oh. Here's the boss saying the obvious.
I'm sick. You're cheating on a vegetable.
Bad acting.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's fine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. He never bothered. Honestly, at no point in this movie that I ever noticed any of the acting.
Well,
I don't. For some reason, these kind of movies, I guess it doesn't take.
do you expect bad acting?
It's
from
not that I
90s
expect bad
rom-com?
acting. I just don't expect great acting. I just expect. It just almost feels like just people are just reacting.
I
So
expect not to be taken out of the movie
Yeah.
by bad acting. That's what I
Right.
expect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that,
with you.
and I never was in this movie. I wasn't. Again, he never bothered me. I just, he was fine.
What else has he been in?
No idea. You have to look it up because I'm not.
I'll
going
look
to.
it up.
Yeah.
Because he's done things that didn't bother me. He was in Liar Liar as the judge.
Oh, yeah, he's
Yeah.
great in that.
Yeah, he's really good. That didn't bother me at all.
I like him in that movie.
What else? He's done some Murder, She Wrote. He's done Wing Commander.
Ooh, Wing Commander. So he's this is a
Wing Commander 4.
oh,
Excuse
the
me.
video game, so not the movie. I was gonna say he's a Cheapseat alum.
Yeah.
He was the voice of Edward R. Hero in the Dinosaurs TV show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah,
is
that's
our
about
first of his.
So I guess maybe Liar Liar is the only place I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I like it. He's good in that. Beef and Nazis is what I labeled this.
I could never make a good pot roast.
You need good beef. Argentina has great beef. Beef and Nazis.
I wanted to capture the whole conversation about like you have to be tall in Hollywood, and they keep talking about these different actors who are tall, and then they mentioned this one actor, and she's like, he's not Spanish. I didn't say he was Spanish. Then why are you talking about him? I'm saying he was tall. Everyone knows he's tall. That's why I said that. Just all of that was so funny to me. And the looks that her and Bill Pullman are giving back and forth to each other were really cute because it's those are looks that I have given to my wife when we're around family and they start talking about stuff that like neither one of us have any interest in talking about. Right. And those are the looks we kind of give back and forth. We're just kind of like sharing a moment. So I totally get where she is.
Those are the looks that, oh gosh, there's a microphone there. Sorry. Yeah. Those are the looks that Sean and I give each other when Sam talks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
I was going to make the joke that Sam and I do that, but
Sam's not on camera. So.
I haven't seen Sam's face in like 3 years.
Okay. This is 28 seconds and it's labeled putts.
Peter, I've known you since you were born. I've been to every major event in your life, from Cub Scouts to the day you discovered hair on your schmeckle. You've had a good education. You're very popular with all those friends of yours. You make a nice living. And everybody knows you're a good-looking kid. But Peter, you're a putz.
Excuse me? Is schmeckel, is that kind of a...
I guess that's Yiddish for penis, right?
Yeah,
I was going to say, that's got maybe a Jewish origin somewhere.
Well, he's Jewish, so...
Schmeckel.
Yes.
Schmeckel.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Because that's what he makes a joke. If I were 40 years younger and she would convert, I would marry her.
Okay. Yeah, I missed that convert. I was thinking Catholic for some reason.
No. Yeah, there's a reason why he wasn't at the Catholic Mass.
Okay. Now I'm putting it together.
Yeah.
Schmeckel, not Catholic.
Yeah, he's very Jewish. Yeah. And if you say the name of your movie, I will capture it.
Peter once asked me when it was that I fell in love with Jack. And I told him it was while you were sleeping.
Which is kind of sad.
While you were comaing.
Yeah, comaing. Mm-hmm. All right, this is the last clip I have, but this is not from this movie. I was supposed to play this last week, but I forgot. So, 2 weeks ago, when we did our Batman Returns episode, we had Lauren from the Beard Owl podcast on, who was just delightful. She's just the best human.
Yeah.
She's just the best human. So while kind of going through some of the audio and doing a little bit of editing, I noticed that she has just the best infectious laugh ever. And I captured a little bit of it. So I just want to share with you, if you're listening to this episode and didn't listen to that episode, this is Lauren right here. It's just great. I love it. So I did tell her that I was going to do this, but here, yeah, it's just great. Oh, Lauren, you're the best. All right, time for this.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
I don't have much trivia because we've already talked about half of it. So, with the paperboy falling down. There was a lot of...
There's one more.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of trivia about who was like almost cast in this movie. But Matthew McConaughey tested for the role of Jack, but he was dropped because of his Texas accent. The director rejected offers to cast Russell Crowe in the same role.
Russell Crowe? Oh, yeah. He wasn't... Was he big at the time?
No.
When was Gladiator?
Yeah, Gladiator was 99, so we were still...
He wasn't very big at the time.
Or 2000, one of those two. Yeah, he was still pretty much an unknown. But there's a bunch of that. The one really kind of interesting piece of trivia that I read that I didn't capture, but I should have, was that the original script for this movie, the roles were reversed, so that the female falls and bonks her head, and the male pretends to be the fiancé, and it comes across as really stalkery.
Yeah, I could see how that would not be good.
So they flip the sexes, and then it becomes a rom-com. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Like but otherwise you're not. Yeah, it would be. He's pretending to be, the fiancé of the girl, and then falls in love with her sister. And then
what does that say about us as a human race?
I think that it says that men are predatory by nature.
Yep, unfortunately.
But women can't be? Is that what they're saying?
No, that's not what they're saying. But men are more likely to gaslight a woman than the other way around.
I don't know. Have you met some of my former girlfriends?
I have not. I've only met Karen, and she is lovely.
Well, how do you think I met her?
No,
I'm kidding.
She gaslit you.
No.
You would never say that out loud. I understand.
She's just
blink 3 times if you. No, I'm kidding.
You're in danger.
Yeah. All right, time for this. No, we're gonna do this. We're gonna skip top 3 real quick, and we're gonna go straight to out of 10.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
There's a reason why. Out of 10, Andrew.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where IMDb puts this because I already let me just I can pull it up real quick. It's 6.7 is what IMDb gives this. I can't go that high. I feel like the 6 range has become my average. And this movie is not what I would consider my average. So I'm going to go a little bit below. We're going to say a 5.3 broken wrists out of 10.
All right. Sam.
Yeah, I maybe not go that low, but I'm not too far off. I'm going to give it a good 5.98 out of 10. It's okay. It's something to watch with a girlfriend or a wife and enjoy it and have a good time with it. It's just not my kind of movie. It's just it doesn't appeal to me.
You know, Sam, you mentioned Hallmark or Lifetime or something earlier. Mm-hmm. I feel like this could be a movie that is made today and it would be on the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Only they would put more Christmas in it though.
Yeah, there would be a little bit more Christmas. And she would find a way to help Bill Pullman's struggling furniture making business thrive.
Right. Yeah. And it would be your girl that you're a fan of there, Sean.
Lacey Chabert. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I knew you knew who I was talking about.
Then I will watch that. I'll watch the hell out of that. In fact, my wife was downstairs cooking while she was preparing the evening meal, watching one that has Christopher Lloyd and Leah Thompson in it, and there is a time travel component. He is a conductor of a time traveling train. So it's like Back to the Future meets Groundhog Day plus Hallmark.
I think my wife has seen that because I vaguely remember that storyline.
It's brand new. It's been out like a week. Like my wife just recorded it. Yeah.
Then I guess I haven't.
Yeah.
But you might have seen a commercial for it if she was watching. But basically, like the idea is like she's the woman is living her life, and then Christopher Lloyd shows up and says, "Hey, we need to fix some stuff. It's your kids, Marty."
You beat me to it.
And then like. She has to go back, and she has like a golden ticket, right? Like a Polar Express. And she can't like get her ticket punched until she is on the path that she's supposed to be on. And so I was watching it a little bit with her. I was more intrigued by the Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson kind of part of it than the actual story. But anyway, I'm going to give this movie a 6.5. I had a good time with this movie. I laughed. I enjoyed it. I thought that the ending speech that she gives at the wedding was very sweet, and yeah, it reminded me of a lot of the proposal. So that means the proposal stole a lot from this movie, and I think we all kind of agree that the proposal is a better movie. I think.
Well, it has Betty White singing.
But it has Betty White doing Native American or Inuit.
So what's the rap that she sings?
I don't know. She does a rap?
Yeah. I forget the song. To the windows, to the walls. No?
I seriously don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Disappointed.
Yeah. I know you are. You should be. I am a disappointment. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds is in it, and it's funny and whatever. But it's kind of the same a little bit of the same thing. There's some stuff obviously different. But I liked this movie, and I'm glad we watched it, and I had a good time with it. I really did. So I encourage you. I mean, the reason why it's not getting like an 8 or 9 is just because this isn't my kind of typical movie, but this was kind of a nice palate cleanser, so that whatever the next movie I go watch, that'll be whatever. Because, I mean, all this week I've been catching up on the Cowboy Bebop on Netflix, and that's, very sweary and very violent. So it was kind of nice to see something not those things.
Sorbet.
Yeah, it kind of was. It was a sorbet. And now I'm about to dive into The Witcher. So
Season 2.
I'm actually going to rewatch season 1 before I do season 2 because
I haven't seen
it. I liked season 1 a lot, so I'm looking forward to season 2. But I'm going to rewatch it because I like to do that kind of thing. That's it. So we're going to now transition to a different part of the show. So I guess I'll play this.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
So we're going to do something a little different for our top 3. This is where we're going to take some time and kind of look back at 2021 and say thank you, and also just, take a moment to reflect a little bit on 2021 as in the point of view of the podcast and ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
So I do want to say this. To anyone who is listening who has guested on the show, thank you so much. You have made our show better.
Yeah, because we're terrible, and having somebody good on, and I'm not saying that just the brown nose. I'm serious.
Yeah, no, it's we. I said a long time ago, I really enjoy having smart people on our show because it makes us look smarter for having you on. And I believe that that's the case for every guest that we've had on this year. I don't have time. I guess I technically do have time to run through the entire list of guests that we've had, but that would take a while. Because of the 50 odd weeks that we've had, 50 weeks that we've had available, I think we've had like 39 or 40 guests, different guests. So I just wanted to, we've had a lot of guests this year. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. It has been absolutely our pleasure to have you on. And I am genuinely thankful for the friendships I've made through Twitter and the relationships I've made with you. So thank you again from the bottom of our hearts. On behalf of Andrew and Sam, I say thank you for being a part of our show. I want to turn now to just 2021 as us, as we talk about the things that we liked to have watched this year, things that we watched that we enjoyed. So our top 3, technically, is going to be top 3 movies that we saw for the first time in 2021. They don't have to be new in 2021. There wasn't a whole lot of new.
Right.
But your top 3 things that you saw in 2021. And I will let Sam start.
Oh, sure. I've got to put an honorable mention for Dune, where I don't think it's the most memorable movie I've seen this year, but the music behind it, in terms of a tone poem, was just gorgeous, and I really appreciated what they did with that. But going into the movies that I've seen for the first time this year, my number 3 starts with a movie I would have never watched otherwise called Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
And really, really enjoyed that movie. And it hit on every level, and every level that a horror movie should. And I will have nightmares of Baseball Boy forever, I think. It's that good. My number 2 movie was was a surprise, and was something that we turned on almost by mistake and really enjoyed from beginning to end, and it was The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
on Netflix.
That is so good.
It was absolutely brilliant and so much fun.
Yeah, and if you're a parent, you should watch it. It's great.
Yeah, it's got a great message. The kids will love it. It's just it's a very well made film. But my number 1, and it might be because it's so recent on my my mind, is Spider-Man: No Way Home, and got to see that this morning, and it was everything you want in a Spider-Man film. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it was everything you want. There were cheers in the theater when we saw it. So I mean, several times in the theater when this morning. So it's once again, Marvel's magic is still out there and still doing well with these things.
Yeah.
So those are kind of my three, with Dune kind of being there on number 4. So, yep.
All right.
What about you guys?
I'm going to go next. We'll do it. We'll do it kind of how we've traditionally done it.
And then we'll forget Andrew.
All right. So I've cheated because I'm the host of the show and I can do that. So I've actually created 2 lists. Actually, technically, I've created 3. I have 3 lists. But Sam and I jokingly said it before the show. Should we do our bottom 3? Which I did. I did create. If we want to talk about our bottom 3, we can later. But so I've done 2 top 3s. A top 3 of movies I saw outside of the podcast, and my top 3 for the podcast. So there we go. So out of the podcast, I'm actually pretty close to Sam. Dune is going to be my number 3. Mitchell's versus the Machines is my number 2. And
you had it on there too. Okay.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
I've watched it twice with the family. It is so great. It makes me cry still.
Oh yeah.
The second time I was weeping at the end of the movie. Just it's so good. And my number 1 would be Shang-Chi. For my having seen outside. I honestly forgot that I watched it until about 5 minutes ago. It's like, oh wait, yeah, I did watch it and I really, really liked it. Maybe top 10 of my MCU films. Maybe, I don't know. It'd be hard. Wow. I'd have to really think about that ranking, but I liked it for this year. It was really good. My top 3 movies for the podcast this year. Number 3, The Suicide Squad. I enjoyed that a lot, and glad we watched it, and it was good. It was really good, really fun. And again, these are movies that we saw for the first time this year for the podcast. Number 2, Atonement, a movie that made me feel all kinds of emotions, but
rage.
Yeah,
rage.
I still listen to the soundtrack to that, the typewriter. As a percussion instrument, yeah. I
might need to pick up some of that. Yeah, Atonement was rough, but I'm really glad that I watched it, and it was really, really good. And Sam mentioned it earlier. My number 1, Dr. Sleep. I mean, it feels like every year the podcast gives me a movie that I just fall in love with, and this is that for this year.
Like Thunder Force.
Thunder Force, surprisingly, is on my other list.
Oh, I wasn't surprised.
Yes, I'm sure we'll get to that one.
Yeah. No, Dr. Sleep was just fantastic. I mentioned it last week in my attempt to just infuriate our guest, Chris, about The Shining. But no, Dr. Sleep was so good, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the director's cut to watch a 3-hour version of that movie.
Yep.
Yeah, those are my 6 movies for this year. It's been a good year, I think, of movies amongst the pandemic. Now, again, 2 of my 6 are not new to this year. But, The Suicide Squad, Shang-Chi, Mitchell's, and Dune are new movies. And they were really good. All of them really good. Andrew, I'll let you go. We'll do you, and then we'll do Twitter.
Okay. Well, I had an honorable mention of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yeah. I thought about that one. I saw
too.
that and I was like,
Yeah, that one, it's probably one, it's honestly one that I hadn't even heard of until we had brought it up for the show. I liked the movie, and I thought it was one of the best things that we had seen this year.
Boseman in that is amazing. He's just fantastic in that movie.
Definitely. So number 3, I have, and this might be a surprise to you guys, but it was my first time seeing it, Die Hard.
Oh wow!
Oh, right,
okay,
I forgot. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If it was my first time, it would have been up there too.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, and number 2, I have Game Over, Man. That was such a funny movie. And,
really?
Steve recommended that to us, and it's such a funny movie. And so that's
you're thinking about it. Yeah.
Game Over Man almost made my bottom 3.
Oh no, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. And then sorry, I still laugh about it. And then number 1 is right there with Sam. I saw on Sunday Spider-Man No Way Home, and it's been said that it's one of the best Marvel movies. I don't know that it's quite there, but it is really good, and it's much, in my opinion. I also like Shang-Chi, but in my opinion, this one is far better than that, and certainly better than Black Widow. I kind of got a little worried about Marvel when I saw Black Widow, but this one just like completely turned things around. And so for those of you that haven't seen it yet, it's something to look forward to. And there were cheers in the theater.
Cheers.
Yeah.
And we're not even like opening night, and it's cheers. It was great. It was great. We had there was a guy dressed up like Spider-Man that came to this 10:20 showing this morning.
Yeah, I gotta tell this. So we went on Sunday, and we had a ticket for 11:30. We get in the theater. We watch the previews, and then it starts at 11:40. The lights go down. The screen goes black. The sound of the previews starts to play. It gets through 3 different movie previews. No visual.
Oh no.
All. And by this time, people are panicking, right? Because they don't want to miss the movie. And then, so they come in and they say, "All right, guys, there's an issue with the projector. Give us 5 minutes." As they're fixing the projector, they start to play the beginning of Spider-Man.
Oh no!
So we hear the opening scene, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There are people that are just like yelling and screaming,
because you can only hear it, you can't see it.
Right. So you don't know what's happening, and so we're afraid spoilers, of course. And then about 20 minutes later, they stop the movie. But then about 20 minutes later, the guy comes in and says, "All right, guys, we're gonna have to refund your money. We can't get this to work, and you're gonna have to come back later."
Oh man!
Oh, I was so pissed. And my kids we actually went for my son's 9th birthday, and so he was upset because it was his birthday, right? So luckily though, we did get our money back, and we got another showing later that evening. But not a fun experience.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell the whole story. That it reminds me of when Sam and my wife and I, we all went to go see Harry Potter 7.2, and 6 minutes left to go in the movie. They lose power because somebody ran into a power pole outside, and we got both refunds and tickets to showings of but they did fix it, so we did get to see the final battle of Hogwarts, the last duel with Voldemort twice.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway, I guess I did tell the whole story. All right. Twitter. We've got some good stuff on Twitter. So Jesse, I'm going to be specific with my names. Jesse from the Sudden But Inevitable podcast. Andrew, you did say yours 3, right?
Yeah, yes.
I did. Yeah.
God, I'm so paranoid now. Jesse from the Sudden But Inevitable podcast, who we're going to be, I don't want to say what he's gearing up for, but Season 3 is going to come down pretty soon for his show, and it's going to be awesome. Slither, Road to Perdition, which he did on our show, Road to Perdition, and Arrival are all first times for him. Slither.
I haven't seen Slither. I'll have to check that out. Maybe that's something to put on our October list for next year.
I definitely think so. It's James Gunn did that.
Yes.
Nathan Fillion's in it.
Is Arrival the one with
we did that.
The spaceship?
Yeah.
They kind of look like curved pistachios or something.
Yeah, like a giant contact lens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
It was a really good movie. Life Paranormal V from the Life Paranormal with V just says, "I love this movie, guys." So, just thank you, V, for that. Maxton, good friend of the show, Maxton says he is at Maxton MAXTAN NMNARTIS. There you go. So give Maxton a follow. Into the Heights, Vivo, and The Harder They Fall. So the harder they fall is on our list for next year, the beginning of next year. Once I saw the trailer for that, I thought that looks like a fun thing to do.
Is that a Domino's movie?
Yes.
Okay.
It is that. Lady Wan said In the Heights, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Tick, Tick, Boom.
I've heard Tick, Tick, Boom.
Yep, I watched Tick, Tick, Boom. It gets a little long.
Okay. That's what she says? No. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and Spider-Man No Way Home coming in from Chris from the Measuring the Score podcast. So, yeah. I think that's it. I think that's all that participated. Thank you all again for participating in that. That was a lot of fun. So, there you go. That's that. Thanks again for people who participate on Twitter. You guys are all awesome. I really appreciate it. Oh, wait. No, I missed one. Hold on. I missed one. Good friend of the show, Cameron, from the Green Shirt podcast, A Newbie's Trek Through TNG, initially said, let's see. Can I write Suicide Squad 3 times? And then I just said, haha, sure. And he says, I watched an embarrassingly small amount of movies this year, and most of them were pretty bad. So the Suicide Squad, Luca, and Spider-Man No Way Home. So thank you, Cameron. All right. That's going to do it. Anything else we want to say before we close out 2021?
You going to let me do my top 3 now?
Stop it. Do we want to take 10 seconds and lament over some bottom 3?
I don't know. Thunder Force was probably at the very bottom.
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you of a couple of other low hanging scores here, just because I was going back and looking at just the scores that we gave some movies. Yeah. Army of the Dead got a 3.3 for us. We did not like that film. We also really didn't like Thunder Force, obviously. We also didn't like Star Wars Episode 2. We did not like Ava. Ava got a 3.1. That's kind of our bottom ones. Nothing else got that close to the 3. We got a couple, The Killing Joke got a 4.5 or 4.8. Midnight Sky got a 4.5. But nothing really comes close. So Ava, Thunder Force, and the Army of the Dead are kind of our 3 for the podcast. That's our lowest scores.
Yeah.
Episodes. Okay.
All right.
That's it. Not going to do the quote game. We're just going to, I'll put that on hold till next year.
Sounds good.
That's it, guys. This has been a great year. Seriously, thank you for listening to this show. The numbers have gone up, which is awesome. Our listenership's gone up, which is awesome. I give all of the credit to our guests, our awesome guests, for coming on and allowing us to do that. Thank you to all of our Twitter followers, Facebook followers, anyone that's ever listened to the show and that can hear my voice. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are awesome, and you're partly the reason why we do this. Frankly, the other reason why is because the 3 of us just enjoy the company of each other and like talking about movies and stuff. So, and we're going to continue to do it until someone tells us to stop, or I don't know what. But until then, thank you again. So on behalf of Andrew and Sam, this is Sean saying thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in 2022.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.